All right, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on our Tuesday night training. This is the first Tuesday for February 2019, and so we are kicking off the month with our Launching Your Biz Successfully training. This is a more in-depth and more high energy, inspiration, motivation training, especially focused for our brand new distributors and distributors who are wanting to really get their business off the ground. We are focusing all on our distributor up until Pro 3 levels. So if that is you, or if you've got people in your team who are at that level, then you're going to really get a lot out of this. And this is something that we will be implementing on the first Tuesday of every month. We are super excited. So I just want to congratulate you for taking the time out to be on this training right now. That shows dedication and commitment and your willingness to want to grow your business. So well done to you. Before we get into the training, I'm just going to go through our regular housekeeping. So I want to recognize our newest distributors in Team Positive LifeVantage for the month of January. We had 18 new distributors, so welcome to each and every one of you. And we are really excited to have you join us on this journey. If you haven't yet, please make sure that you know who your support team is and that you've been introduced to the leaders in your organization so that they can support you on the journey as well. Also, a big congratulations to those who rank advanced in the month of January. And I know January can be a little bit tough coming off of the end of the Christmas holiday season, back into the school year with fees and debt and everything like that. Some people put a hold on their business. So a huge, huge congratulations to those who rank advanced, especially a big mention to Dr. Jeffrey Tulling in Canada, I believe, who hit Pro 3, which is a very important and recognized up and coming leadership rank in our business. So big congrats to you. What's coming up to help you build your business? Wow, we have an abundance of events and information webinars to help you build your business. So just remember, every Tuesday night we have our 8 p.m. Team training on Zoom. This is what you're on right now. And the first Tuesday of each month will now be a special 1 to 1.5 hour getting started Zoom. We also have some big things coming up for the rest of this month. Pro 6 Janelle James will be heading to New Zealand to do a tour in a couple of the North Island areas from February 8th to 10th. There's also some Central Queensland events with Pro 5 Gillian Joyce, one in Rockhampton. That one sounds amazing. They're going to have a doctor on scene, and that's going to be February 11th at 7 p.m. Then Mackay, February 18th, 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. will be an information session happening there. And if you hadn't noticed yet, or heard from your team yet, we have our dates for our 2019 Australian Leadership Academy, which will again be on the Gold Coast. It's nice and central for where a lot of our distributors are located. So that will be the 29th to the 30th of November. Save that date right now and start making your plans to be there. It's our biggest and best event in Australia. We've also got our February Zoom interviews, which is helping us for our February challenge, which we will mention at the very end of this training, and how you can participate and even win some prizes. But those Zooms are every Wednesday at 8 a.m., 7:30 p.m. and Saturday at 8 a.m. So here's a quick look. We've got this already posted in our Facebook group, and they're on the same Zoom link each time. Tomorrow morning is Paul Haslam. He's a sports scientist, a fitness guru, and a physical educator. So that will be on 8 a.m. Queensland time tomorrow morning. This is something that not only you can jump on to learn more about our incredible products and business, but your guests, your contacts will share more about how you can invite them onto these sorts of things during our training. But this is a really big opportunity, massive validation. We've got some really high-level elite athletes, some top business entrepreneurs. We even have our very own Pro 5 Gillian Joyce, who will be presenting on the 13th of February. So a massive lineup to help you build your business this month. Make sure you're utilizing that series. So let's get stuck into our launching your business successfully training. And our goal with this is to help you understand how you can grow your business fast. Because a couple of the things that are usually running through a distributor's mind when they get started is, how do I do this? Who can I talk to? And how should I be talking to these people? And often, if you feel like you don't know the answers to that, you can let fear get in the way or procrastination. And without taking action, it's easy to just let things dwindle and fizzle out. And before you know it, you're going back into doing what you've always been doing. But we're here to help you change your life, because this business is something that can change every single aspect. I'll be sharing a little bit more about my story later, but without a doubt, myself, Jillian Joyce, and Katrina Allen, who will be sharing the training tonight, we have all had such profound life-changing results with this business. And it's because we just got in and decided to do it. We did things really, really wrong at the beginning, but it was having belief and knowing that what we have our hands on is so special. It didn't matter that we got it wrong, because in the end we were able to get it right, and now we know the right ways to do it, and we want to help you avoid the mistakes we did and do things right first, so that you can build your business fast. So with our training, we're going to be giving you the roadmap to success for when you are really first building your business. It's what we'd call your phase 1 of this business. And so in that, we're going to look at step 1, which is starting strong. And we're going to call this your 4 in 2. So finding 4 in your first 2 weeks to help you hit a 200 PV goal. Jillian Joyce will be sharing that in a minute. And then we'll get into step 2, launching your business fast, especially if you're brand new, how you can hit and be a Pacesetter Pro 2 in 30 days. So that's something that everybody can do. Even if you're an existing distributor, we can still teach you how to go to Pro 2 in 30 days and relaunch fast. And then we're going to get into step 3, which is how you can learn while you keep earning, and earning some big bonuses to get you to Pacesetter Pro 3 or Pro 3 within 90 days. So with that, I want to hand it over to Jillian for her step 1 starting strong training. Thank you. We'll just get Jill to share her screen. Thanks, Jill.
Oops, sorry, just make sure I'm unmuted there. You can all see that screen okay? Thanks, Karen. Okay, awesome. So yeah, tonight's also a little bit about giving you that opportunity to hear a few stories and how a few of us all got started in the business. So just to give you a bit of my background, I am actually a school principal by trade. So taught for many years, fell into the role of school principal. Did that for a few years before stopping to have my children. So I took maternity leave, and I really wanted to be a stay-at-home mum and spend this time with my children, particularly while my husband works away. So he does a 7 on, 7 off roster, so made it tricky to balance out that work family life. And so yeah, I was happy to stay home, and in saying that, I wasn't looking for anything else to do. But it was a girlfriend of mine, Janelle, who reached out to me, and I tend to share when I'm doing presentations that she reached out because she knew my family history. And the truth is she did. She knew my family history. We have a history of illnesses. I've got heart conditions on my mum's side, where I've lost a grandma when she was only in her early 70s. I've also lost a sister when she was only 21 after open heart surgery. And then I'd also lost my dad a few years ago when he unexpectedly passed away from cancer, which we didn't know he had. So she did know my family history, but she wasn't actually reaching out for that reason, even though I say she does. The truth is she knew that my mother-in-law was very open to natural products, and she was, I guess you could say she might have prejudged me. I thought Jill probably won't be interested in this. She's busy with school and all the rest of it. She's a teacher. And so she was reaching out to me to speak to my mother-in-law, who was open to natural products. And I guess there was a lesson in that, and that you shouldn't ever prejudge anyone, because it actually piqued my interest. And as I did more and more research and looked into it, I knew this was something that I wanted my family to take as well. So I actually jumped straight into the business side of things almost straight away, only because I wanted all the product to share with my family, but also because I knew that in this area there was nobody that knew about this product. There was no one within an 800-kilometre radius of me. And so I knew that I had that opportunity to share with a few people. And even if you're thinking, well, I'm not really the first one in my area, you have to put it all into perspective and think we are the first ones in Australia. And if you're not the first one in your area, you've got a team to support you to reach out to the rest of Australia, because we are merely a drop in the ocean in Australia with just over, I think it's about 2,500 distributors. And the Direct Selling Association actually tells us that the first 150,000 distributors per market are the ones that have that once in a lifetime opportunity. That's considered ground floor, and you can grow from there. So we are so young. We are so lucky that we all have each other to support each other, and we are the first. Everyone, anyone that's here tonight, even the next thousands that join, we are still the first in this area, and we have such a huge opportunity. So reach out to everyone. This business has certainly changed my life. I was actually looking at having to go back to work after a few years with the children, because, you know, keeping life going, you know, having that income is really important, but it's stretched my time out. I'm taking all 7 years that I'm entitled to from my job leave. Like, I'm able to stay home with my kids. It's given me that income to not only contribute a little bit, but quite significantly. It has had a huge impact on our family in that sense. So it's a really amazing opportunity, and it's not going to be quick in the beginning, but it will grow if you are consistent. So I'll take you through the first 2 weeks in the business, the key behaviours that you need to take on board, and things that you can do to really launch your business successfully. So first of all, I'd just like to highlight a few of your own expectations, things that not to burst your bubble, but you're not going to make $1 million in that first week. I'd love you to. I really would. Everyone here would love you to. But it doesn't work like that. You have to think long term. This is a 3 to 5 year plan. So in the beginning, they always say that you get paid. Well, the first bit, you're not really getting paid much at all, but then, you know, you start to get paid what you're worth over time, and then for the rest of your life you will be paid more than what you're worth if you stick it out. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. You are learning on the job. So think of it like a profession. So if you were to liken this to a university degree, where you would go to university for 3 to 5 years depending on the degree, you would be paying money to be trained and to do that course. You'd be working all your other jobs at the side just to get you through, and you are learning the skills to then get to work and then pay back your HECS debt. Whereas in this case, you are actually getting a profession. You are getting all of the training, 90% of it being free. You know, you can do extra courses on top, but all the training that you actually need is free. And you have the opportunity to earn while you learn. So don't get discouraged if the amount you're earning at the beginning is not a huge amount. It will grow if you are consistent in your behaviors. And remember, the better you get at the skills that we will present to you tonight, the more you will earn. So doing it over and over again, learning the correct way is so important. If you treat it as a business, you will get paid like a business. And don't think of it as a hobby, because hobbies actually cost money. So if you're treating it like a hobby, you know what, it probably will cost you money. But if you treat it like a business, you will get paid like a business. 10% of this business and this industry is skills. The rest of it is mindset. And so throughout the time that you're in doing this, you are going to have mindset stuff that comes up all the time. We always say, you know, when you're feeling down, reach up. which means reach up to your upline, talk to them. They'll have experiences where they'll be able to share with you how they overcame the same problems that you will face every single day, the same fears. So always reach upline when you're feeling down. And if you're having really excited days, go up or down, share it with everyone. You know, let that enthusiasm and excitement rub off for all. Now, there are 3 P's that will come up time and time again: persistence, perseverance, and patience. And just quickly, persistence. The definition for persistence is to continue on a course of action despite difficulty or opposition. Okay, so difficulty is going to happen, opposition will happen, but you need to continue on the course and you will have the rewards. Perseverance. The definition for perseverance is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, problems, or suffering without being annoyed or anxious. So, yeah, this is patience. I've got those two mixed up. Sorry, patience is the capacity to accept, tolerate, or delay problems or suffering. So, yeah, there is a delay. There's going to be a delay between when you're paid a small amount and a big amount. And then perseverance, back to the second P there, is continuing to do something despite difficulty or delay and achieving success. So there will be delays, but success is there if you are persistent and persevere. Okay, so to talk about the importance of 200p, this is what we encourage everyone to work towards in their first 2 weeks. PV stands for personal volume, okay? So it's made up of your personal order, so what you order, your Protandim, your skincare, your NRF1, whatever it is, plus your personally enrolled customers' orders. So these are the people that you enroll as customers personally. It does not include your personally enrolled distributors' orders. So if you've enrolled a distributor, whatever they order is their PV. It's only your order and your customers. So every single month, this is the basic requirement to maintain your distributor status. You must have at least 40 PV from your own personal orders. So that's 1 bottle of Protandim. That will keep you active as a distributor for the rest of your day. So that's an easy fix. And it was one of the big reasons why I went for the business pack straight away as well, because I thought, you know what? Whether it's a business or not, all I need to do is have my own bottle coming to me. And that was what I wanted anyway. So it was an easy choice becoming a distributor. Now, having that 200 PV means that you will always qualify for all commissions and bonuses. So that's why we encourage that first 200 PV. And having customers that are on subscription means that they will generate PV for you every single month, and it creates that balance in your business as well. So it's easy for customers. They don't have to think about going back to order again. So yeah, we always encourage that subscription price. So it's not having brand new customers every single month to generate that PV. You can have one customer that you enroll that continues to order month after month after month, and that is your PV every single month. So your PV will continue to grow for the rest of your days. So when it comes to checking your PV, you'll be logging into your back office. So this is your virtual office, we call it, and you'll see a qualifications area. Now, just to give you a couple of examples where people qualify for full commissions and bonuses. So in this first, example here, you can see the green bar is 200 PV. So if you are a Pro 3 Plus, you'll have that green bar highlight green and say 200 PV if you have got the qualification. So you can see here there's 40 points, which is their own personal order, plus the volume that counts as customers. So that's all customer volume there. So they more than meet the requirements for having their 200 PV. So they'll be entitled to all commissions and bonuses. On the other side here, you'll see this person has 200 PV. So they've got their 40 plus 160, but it only says 100 PV in that green bar. And that is because this distributor is not a Pro 3 Plus. So they'll be a Pro 1 or a Pro 2 or a distributor, but it still shows that they're entitled to full commissions and bonuses, because the requirements to receive your residual as a Pro 1 or Pro 2 or a Pro 3 as well, is that 100 PV. You must have 200 PV though to get your full start bonuses when enrolling distributors. So we still encourage 200 PV for everybody. But if your bar says 100, don't let that alarm you. Just click on it and that box will pop up to show you that you've got 200 still. Okay, so this person is qualified for full royalties and partial bonuses because they don't quite have their 200 PV. So they've got 160 total, which is 40 and they're 120 from customers. So they've met the 100 PV requirement, which means that they will get all of their royalty commissions, they'll get their customer bonuses, but if they were to enroll a distributor, their commissions would be slightly less. So that is why we encourage 200 PV. In the bottom two situations, you can see that even though this bar is green and it says 100 PV, there is no personal order. It says 0 there in that first one, which means that they do not qualify for commissions at all. They won't get anything that month until their own order goes through. And again, on this side, they've got their personal order, great. So they'll maintain their distributor status, but they don't have 100 PV, so they're not qualified for commissions or bonuses that month either. Okay, so your goal is to get yourself 200 PV in your first 2 weeks. It is so important to know that you do not need to be the expert on the products, the business, or absolutely anything at all to get your first customers. And I want to share with you a little story about how my first customers actually came about. So my first 4 customers were my sister, my mum, my mother-in-law, and a friend. Now, I didn't know a thing about any of it. I just said, hey, Mum, Sarah, there's this really awesome thing. I want to get the information to you. Will you come along and listen to my friend Janelle talk about it, please? So they were the ones that I dragged along to a presentation. I didn't have to tell them any more than that. I just said, I really want to put you in front of this person to hear this information. It's really important to me. You know, these are your warm market, your hot market. You know, these are the people that you love and care about, and you want them on this product. So you can ask them to come and hear the information. Put them in front of the expert, because you explaining it probably, you know, like, it's one of those things, you know, you can tell your family something 1,000 times, and when they hear it from someone, there's like, and she ordered straight away as well. So, you know, don't overthink your first 4 customers. Think about the people that are closest to you. This is not about, you know, harassing your family no end, but it's about giving the information to those you do care about the most, because at the end of the day, you want those people you care about the most on this product. So get your first 4 customers. Okay, so your why, so your reason for sharing this will be enough to make people want to try if you let that enthusiasm out. So share your passion and your reasons for sharing this product. Introduce them to your upline, a tool, a video, the Facebook group. Our website's a great tool as well. And start with your hot market, your mum, your dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, best friends. You know, you don't have to hound them, but reach out to them with genuine care and compassion, and, you know, share your passion for what we have. Also, a launch party is highly recommended straight away. As soon as you start up, first thing you should be doing is pulling out your diary, locking in a couple of dates with your upline where they come and they present for you to the people that you invite along. So that's where you can get all of these people in a room to hear the information for the first time. Okay, so now to take you quickly through our Starting Strong guide. Now, if you have not already found this guide, it is in our Biohacking Global website in the team portal. Now, if you've got your phone there, you can take a quick photo, the username and the password. You will also find that in the pinned post in our distributor group, so that username and password. Please remember that this is for distributors only. Do not share this username and password with anyone else. This is our team only. There have been countless amount of hours that have gone into creating these documents and resources, and it's not for anyone other than our team of distributors. So this is where you can find the Starting Strong document. It's the very first one in phase 1. So to enroll your initial customers, so when you're first starting and getting your 200 PV, the very first thing you'll want to do as soon as you have enrolled is to make sure that your website is set up correctly to what you want. So by logging into your virtual office, there's the link at the top there. So that's a generic link. Anyone can go there and you'll get your login box where you put your ID. That's the ID you were given when you enrolled, plus the password you created. If you can't remember those things, call out to support on the 1-800 number. They can fix that up for you and email it to you. So once you have logged into your back office, you click on Account Services up on the top blue bar, and then when Account Services pop down, you click on the Business Site Admin. That will bring up this grey box, which you can see over here on the right-hand side. Now, the top is what your website is currently set at. It defaults to your first and last name. However, as LifeVantage grows, there are going to be more and more people with the same name as you. So I've already had one of my distributors who was a double up. They were made their first and last name with a 1 in there because there was already someone in the system with their name. So what I suggest to you to do is your first and last name is perfect. Oh, sorry, your first and last name is perfect. However, if you haven't looked, you need to check and make sure that you don't have a 1 or something else there. You can make that whatever you want. I've got one distributor with capricorncoast.au.lifevantage.com. I know Karen's got goldcoast.com.au.lifevantage.com. So there are so many different examples. You can choose something that suits you. But what I do recommend is that once you've set your website, you never change it again. Because even if you hand that out to one person at the beginning, you'll never know if they've passed it on to somebody else or if they might go back in a few months' time to order. And something as simple as not being able to get onto the website because it's not what you said it was is enough for people to go, oh, too hard, and push it aside. So once you've set your website, don't ever change it again. Just keep it simple. Okay, so step 2 is about discovering your why. Now, I did talk quickly about, for me, when I first started sharing, this was all about getting my family started on this product. You know, we've been rattled by illness and things that have really had a big impact on my family. And so when it comes to being proactive with health, it's a priority. I don't want to lose my mum. I don't want to lose another sister, or, you know, I don't want those things to happen, you know. And if there's one thing that we can do that will improve the quality of our life, then I'm all on board. And so that was a really big part of my why. But what keeps me going is the fact that this is growing a legacy for my family. It's giving me the opportunity to be there now for my children. I can pick them up and drop them off to school every single day. If there's an event on in any of those, like the Mother's Days that they have at the kindy, I get to be there with my children because I'm not relying on going to a 9-to-5 job where I've got zero flexibility. So discovering that why is the most powerful thing that will keep you going on the hardest of hardest days. And you will have them. You're going to have tough days, but you need to come back and check in on your why. So have a think now. Where are you? Where do you want to be? And why is it that you want to be there? And you have to keep digging down until you can feel like there is no other option but to continue with what you're doing, to persist with this, to get past those hurdles, to overcome those fears, because this is the answer for so many people. So many people, you know, whether it be their health or, you know, just being able to provide those opportunities to be with your family. You know, this is the answer for nearly every problem that's out there. It's a solution. Okay, so your why will drive how you do things and what it is that you do. So you need to dig really deep to find that why. I really encourage you to write it down. Tell your upline, speak to the people in your upline so that they know what your why is. When you're talking to people about why you're sharing this, if you can share your why and they can feel your passion, then they'll want to be a part of that as well. Okay, so next step is about telling your story, because this is going to be the most compelling skill that you have in your tool set. So I shared a bit of my story with you this evening. It's, like I said, it wasn't the traditional one that I share when I do a presentation, because we're all distributors here, but your story is what you will share over and over and over again when it comes to doing presentations, when you're standing up in front of the room or in front of a small group, or just even one-on-one. And, you know, your story is something that will relate, other people will relate to. So if they can feel like they can relate to your story, then there's a good chance they're going to be a part of it. If they don't relate so much, they probably will just move on, and that's okay. But there are 4 components to telling your story. So it's about sharing your background, what it was that you didn't like about it, or the troubles, the difficulties, the solution, which is wrapped up with LifeVantage. This is a solution that you found, and what those results and your future will be like by using this as your solution. So what is your future outcome from this, or what is the results that you've had so far with this? You know, it's a growing journey. Your story will grow and develop as you do. So keep building deep on that. Okay, so step 4 is about adding people to groups. So I am skipping along very quickly tonight, but I'm not going to go too deeply into this, because Karen's going to share with you in her section an add tag message method that we encourage. But the 2 groups that you need to know about for prospects are our Team Positive VIP group and our Team Positive Business Opportunity group. Now, when it comes to adding anybody to these groups, you must always, always, always have their permission first. Do not add people randomly. Just send them a message and say, hey, thought of you because I read this story in this really awesome group, and, you know, it just relates so much to the things that I've heard you say you've got going on in your life. Would you be happy for me to add you in so you can read it too? I'll tag you in it. And you can do that. You can add them in then once I've said, yeah, sure, add me in. If somebody is interested in the business, so if they have in any way hinted that they might be interested in the business, just say, look, we also have a business group. It may not be for you at this point in time, but it does share a lot of information about the company, the business side of things, income, etc. Would you like me to add you into that group as well? And, you know, anyone who is slightly interested in the business, they'll most likely say yes. And it's also a good indicator for you. Like, you can just throw that question in there a bit later down the track, and then you'll know that, you know what, that business has piqued their interest. Oh gosh, my mouse is very sensitive tonight. Back we go. Okay, now the distributor groups that you need to be aware of. The Team Positive distributor group, that's where we welcome all new distributors. We always encourage everyone to make it a group feeling, like a team. If this is our team, so welcome everyone that comes in. Feel free to reach out for support. We are all there to support each other on our journeys. So there's a lot of announcements, team announcements, events, incentives like this February challenge that I know you're all running hard for. So all of those things will be in that distributor group. So jump in there. Everyone here should be in there. That's the first thing we do, is add people into that group. That's where you're going to get the most support on this journey. That's your big support hub. The other 2 groups that you can see there, the official LifeVantage Distributors of Australia group, that is a group for distributors only. Once again, you must be approved by corporate, and they will check that you've got the right ID number. So when you're being added, you have to be an official distributor to be in there. That's where you will find all corporate announcements. So corporate events, corporate run incentives, etc. That information will be in that group. This events page is a really hot one at the moment. It's getting used more and more, and everybody should be following this page, because this is where all events all across Australia are announced, and there's a lot going on at the moment. So we're talking about events in all major cities and some smaller cities. So it's an opportunity to plug your guests into events across Australia if they aren't where you are specifically, so you can get them along to live events. So be sure to follow that one. Okay, if it comes to step 6, when it comes to building online, Karen Murphy is the online guru, and she has so awesomely created this Team Positive social media training Facebook groups just for our team. She's such a gem. Now, if you're not already in this group, please ask your upline to add you into this group straight away, and go to the album section. You'll see there you've got step 1 right through to step 5, and look at that last one there, post ideas. Holy dooly, there are a whole bunch of proven posts that have worked for everyone. So all the leaders, they threw in the posts that they've done in the past that have worked. There's posts from all different angles, so some really great ideas. We always encourage you to work on making it a bit your own, personalize it to yourself, but they're ideas. If you are going to do absolutely anything on Facebook at all, you need to get into this group first and check out the do's and don'ts of social media, because the first thing you put on Facebook about this business is going to create a lasting imprint on a lot of people that follow you religiously. So you're going to have a market that are always, you know, your group of friends, people that are always seeing what you do, and whatever you put out there first, it's out there to the universe. They will remember that. Okay, so you want to make sure it's a really good post to begin with. We don't want to be salesy or spammy or anything like that. We want it all to be quality, and we want to give LifeVantage the quality name that it has. So yeah, get some quick successes, jump in this group, get all the best ideas. Okay, so I didn't finish that one. Okay, so step 7. So this is about connecting to your support team. So just remember that no distributor is an island. Okay, you're not in this all by yourself. We're all connected. So don't try and do all of this on your own to begin with. Work closely with your upline, your support team. If you haven't already been connected with your first 5 upline, ask your sponsor to do this for you now. So your first 5 active upline are the ones that you really want to reach out to. Write down their phone numbers, email addresses, friend them on Facebook. You know, your success is very important to them as well. They're going to help you to do everything that you need to do to have success in this business. They've got a vested interest in your success. So make sure you know who they are and feel comfortable reaching out to them anytime. Okay, and step 8, lastly, being accountable. So you need to remember that you are now a business owner. So this is not anybody else's business. This is your business. You bought it. You are responsible for its success, or not going to happen, but it's your failure. So congratulations to yourself. You're your own boss. You will win because of what you do, or you'll fail because of what you don't do. So put it all in there. Be accountable to yourself. Plug into events that are absolutely essential. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m, we have our weekly training calls, including the first Tuesday of every month being this now extended Getting Distributors Started launch session. Annually, we have our leadership academies, which are a corporate run event, absolutely phenomenal. Karen announced those dates, so 29th and 30th. Now that is a slight change. It was initially announced to be a week earlier, but they've changed that to line up with some other dates in the US. So 29th and 30th are the correct dates in November. So lock those in now. It will be on the Gold Coast. So start looking at your accommodation there maybe. Corporate tours and elites, they happen regularly as well. Our next corporate tour I can announce is going to be in April, so be ready for that one as well. And lastly, with it being accountable, it's also about being coachable. So don't come into this and, you know, dig your head in the sand. Be open to learning from other people who have had experiences. You know, like Karen said at the beginning, we've all made mistakes. Absolutely. We've learned from them, and that's why we're here to help you learn as well. And, you know, every day I still learn something new. So it's a great opportunity. It's really about growing yourself as a person. Leaders set the pace and the atmosphere for everything. So walk your talk and show, don't tell. If you want to be a leader, you can be that. You certainly can. Everyone can be. You're a leader right from the beginning by walking your talk. Duplication is essential. So whatever your team, whatever you do, your team will copy you. So as you're growing and enrolling distributors, you know, they're going to be watching very closely what you're doing. So make sure it's all the good stuff and not the bad stuff, because you want them to copy the good. And success loves speed. And I always love that plane analogy. When you think about an aeroplane, you know, once they get up into the air, they're just right coasting at a set speed. But to get in that air, they have to really put a lot of power in. They've got to really get going. They've got to launch themselves into the air before they can get going and maintain that awesome speed. So with your business, it's going to be a bit the same. To get you up off the ground and to get you growing and to have that launch, you really need to hit the ground running, get that first 200 PB, and then as the ladies are going to go on to share with you, it's then all about going for that Pacesetter Pro 2 and then Pacesetter Pro 3. So celebrate every success as you go along. That's really important. So thanks, Karen. I'll stop my share there and hand over to you.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jill. That was a brilliant first step with getting started. I'd love you, everyone who's listening, to just drop in the comments a takeaway or something that you might have picked up or resonated with from what Jill shared, and what you could implement moving forward to help you grow your business. I'm just going to share my screen and get started with our step 2, which is launching fast. And this is really growing your business from that initial enrollment and getting that 200 PV and growing to Pro 2 and in 30 days. So before we get into the training, let me share a little bit about my story. So I'm a Pro 5. I'm living on the Gold Coast in Australia with my family, my daughter Sophie, who she's a little bit Facebook famous because she's so cute, and my fiance Curtis, who is such a hard worker. Now, I got into LifeVantage through my sister-in-law, but my sister-in-law had no idea that I was looking for a way out of my 9-to-5 accounting job. I had become a mum and I was on maternity leave, and I was looking for a way to work from home. I was not looking to do network marketing. I was very traditional. My background is accounting and tax, so I thought maybe I could do bookkeeping, but everything I looked at was going to cost a lot of money or use up a lot of my time. But I wanted freedom and flexibility while still creating an income for my family. And I just didn't know what the answer was until I saw a LifeVantage info session. Now, I'm so grateful for Katrina to have the passion and ignorance on fire to just invite me. And because I said yes and went along, that was when they say, you know, that the whole new story began. It was like my new chapter of life started. I didn't really care about improving my health because I thought I was healthy, but I saw the power of the science and how incredible the validation was for Protandim. And so I knew that I wanted to take it for the rest of my life, and I knew that this was something that could impact so many lives. But for me, I saw the business potential. It was ticking all those boxes of what I needed: flexibility, financial, time freedom, making an impact, having fulfillment, but more than anything, being able to be a stay-at-home mum and not have that guilt of leaving my daughter at childcare every day while I go to work. Because when I was a child, my parents worked all the time. My dad worked night shift. My mum worked a 9-to-5 job. I remember I would be in before school care, after school care, walking at home. Me and my brother would have to look after ourselves. Our parents weren't around very often, and I did not want that for my daughter. And I had this vision when I first got started in LifeVantage. I had this vision of me and Curtis walking our daughter to school for the very first day. And she started school this year, and that's what we did. We held her hand and walked out of school. Oh, makes me emotional. So that is the power of this business and the freedom and flexibility it can offer you. And we want that for each and every one of you. So I want to share more about the skills and how you can launch fast, because as Jill said, getting that power and that momentum so you can get your business off the ground is so critical. Think of it like pushing a train uphill, okay? There's this massive hill and you want to get your train up and over the top of it so it can go screaming down the other side. But what happens if you stop pushing that train? It is going to take so much effort to get it going again. But if you can get that momentum up and over that hill, the momentum will carry itself and it can just go like crazy. And that's the same thing within this business. So let us give you that blueprint of how you can do this so you can get that power and momentum going in your business. So I'm going to assume that most people will get started in this business as a platinum pack, a pro one, if not a gold pack. I never want to encourage distributors to come in on any less than that. I honestly feel like you're starting off on a back foot. One, because you actually earn less with Smart Start bonuses if you come in on a smaller pack, but also because you have less inventory that you can share and sell and use, and you have less volume when you first come in on the business. If you come in on a platinum pack, that's 1,000 volume of product, and that automatically qualifies you as a pro one, which is the first level in earning your monthly royalty residual income. So if you've got anyone looking at this business, it's always important to meet them where they're at, but let them know the benefits of getting started on a gold or a platinum pack and how it can benefit them long term with the volume, with the product, and with more skin in the game. Really, you know, if you're making a bigger investment, it's more often you're going to work harder to get that investment back. But what does it mean to make Pro 2? So that's when you're going to have 2,500 volume in your business. You'll have at least 2 legs, but this is also including your customers. That could be another leg. And there's also what we call an 80-20 percentage split. And what that means is there's a maximum of 80% that can be counted from one leg. So if you've got 2 legs, but one of the legs is just one customer and the other leg is a distributor who's doing a huge amount of work and they have a lot of things happening in their business, all of that volume could be more than 2,000, but only 2,000 will count towards you qualifying as a Pro 2. Let me give you a couple of examples of what a Pro 2 would look like. So a Pro 2 is 2,500 volume, and you could have 2 distributors that you've personally enrolled. So let's say your first distributor, they come in on a platinum pack, which is 1,000 volume, and then they might enroll some distributors or customers, sorry, I should say, to get their PV. So that would put them at a Pro 1 level of 1,250. And let's say that happens on a second leg. So you get another distributor who gets started on a platinum pack and they get their PV points with customers. And so they're at 1,250. That's what we would call like a perfect balance. It doesn't usually happen like that, but if you had 50% of volume in one leg and 50% in the other, that's perfectly balancing your business and you'd qualify as a Pro 2. Another scenario would be where you've got a distributor that you enroll and they have a platinum pack, and then they might enroll another distributor on a platinum pack. So there'd be 2,000 volume coming from that leg. And the other volume you could make up with customers. So that would get you to a Pro 2. Another example is if you had a distributor who came in on a platinum pack, another distributor who came in on a platinum pack, and then you've got say 10 customers who order products. So that would also get you to a Pro 2 level. So the main thing when you're going up the levels in this business is to make sure that you're growing your business wide as well as deep. So it's awesome to be able to support your distributor, but make sure you're supporting your whole team as much as your time allows you to, because growing your business wide, you will get paid on every single leg as long as you can qualify, okay? And if you want to grow 100 distributors wide, then you can be earning on all 100 of those legs in your business. Let's talk about the power of Pacesetter. So this is for our brand new distributors, and the Pacesetter program is something that was trialed as an incentive, but it worked so effectively that our company made it a permanent part of our compensation plan. So now you can actually earn up to 9 ways in our compensation income plan, which is incredible. So the Pacesetter is designed to help you get off to a fast start and get rewarded with earning extra cash bonuses in your first 30 and 90 days. So what is a Pacesetter Pro 2? Well, that's when you achieve the rank of Pro 2, which we've just talked about, in your first full calendar month from when you join as a distributor. So let's say, what's the date today? Today is the 5th of February. If you got started today, you don't have just this month. It's actually a full calendar month, which means you get right until the end of March to qualify as a Pro 2. If you get started on the first day of the month, you only have that month because that's considered a full calendar month. So if you got started on the 1st of February, you would only have until the end of February being your first calendar month. So if you've got somebody who's looking at getting started at the end of a month, unless you're really close to hitting a goal, sometimes it can benefit that person looking at enrolling if they get started on the 1st or the 2nd of the month, because it's really giving them almost 60 days to gain momentum and put in place action in their business to hit that Pro 2 level. So when you hit Pacesetter Pro 2, you will earn an extra $125 cash bonus on top of your Smart Start bonuses that you would earn as you enroll your distributors and customers to help you hit that rank. The other thing as well is that if you then maintain that Pro 2, so that means you again the next month have 2,500 in volume, you'll earn another $125 cash bonus. So that's an extra $250 within, say, 30 to 60 days that you could be earning. That is going towards paying off your investment of getting started in this business, or it could be a little bit of an extra cash bonus for you to do something for yourself or for your family. That's making a really great impact straight away. And what we know in this business is that as soon as somebody generates their first dollar, or it's actually, I think it's their first $1 to $25 in this business, they're more likely to stay in the business a lot longer than if somebody didn't make any money within their first 2 weeks to 30 days. So we really, really have a big focus on helping you achieve Pacesetter so that you can earn these extra bonuses on top of the bonuses that you would already be earning. So what do you need to do to help you achieve these results? Invite like crazy. This is where you want to run like your hair is on fire. This is when you're putting down that throttle to get your business off the ground. So inviting people is a really important skill. If you're not talking to people and asking them if they want to know about this, what do you think is going to happen? Not much. So at this point, we're asking them to take a look. That's all. We're not really asking them to buy from us or to say that they're going to get started in this business. It's really just to sift and sort and find out whether they want to take a look. It's really important to just be yourself, to be authentic, and not to assume that someone will say yes or someone will say no, because it's like Katrina. She had no idea that I was jumping looking for a business like this. And it's just because she invited me, being that I'm family and she was in the area, that I said yes, and now I'm a Pro 5 in her business. So don't judge, okay? That is so, so important. It's always the least you'll expect that will do the most, okay? And keep it simple. Here are some really simple proven invites that you can do, whether it's in person, your local contacts, or online. I'm going to give you some ideas, so feel free to write down or take a screenshot. So here's the invite number 1. Hey John, I have an idea I want to run by you. Can we meet up today at 2 p.m. at your house? So here you're creating a bit of curiosity. You're not giving any information away. You're also setting a time commitment and saying you want to meet at their house, so you're going to them. So this is where you would also have your support team go along with you or be on the phone to help give the information. At the beginning, you don't need to know anything, okay? All you need to know is who you can share this with. if you have a phone with contacts in it, if you have a Facebook friends list with friends on it, that's who you can be talking to and inviting, okay? What do you say then if they ask, well, what is it? That's when you can say it's 90% visual and I'll just fill you in when I get there. And if they keep asking questions, then you can send them a link and say, here, watch this, and I'll talk to you when I get there. If they're skeptical and they say, oh, you know, is it one of those things, or they might just be a little bit on the back foot if you're not really giving them a lot of information, you can, you know, take the pressure off them by saying, that's not a problem. Can I practice on you though? Because I'm really excited about this and I want to make sure that I do get it right. So if I practice on you, would that be okay? So then there's no pressure, but guess what? They're still going to hear some information. Proven invite number 2. So this is something you can text, you can send on Facebook, or you can even ask over the phone or in person. Really simple. Hey, John, if I send you a 6-minute video that will blow your mind, will you watch it? That's it. How easy is that? I think everyone can do that. Everyone could send 100 text messages within the next 24 hours of that exact proven invite. And there's actually somebody in America, I believe he was a pastor of a church, okay, so he's got no network marketing experience, and he did that exact message to all of his phone contacts. I think it was about 50% of them said yes, they will watch it. Within 30 days, he was a Pro 5 in this business. It took me like 3 years to get Pro 5. I wish I did this when I got started. So keep it simple. Here's another invite idea, and this is a great one for your online contacts or people that you can connect to online with the information. This one's a little bit longer, but you can say, hey, John, how are you? Quick random question for you, and then leave it at that and wait for them to respond. One mistake that I made early in the beginning with online or sharing with people is that I wouldn't wait for them to commit and say yes, they wanted to take a look. I would just spam them with information. Nobody likes spam, okay? So don't be a spammer. And then when they say, yep, what is it? What do you know about oxidative stress? And again, wait for their response. And they might, most often will say, well, I don't know, what is it? You can say, I just saw a video, it blew me away. I had no idea the negative effect of having high levels of oxidative stress can have on our health. It was compelling. So let me know if you want to check it out. I'm good either way, but it'll only take 6 minutes. And leave it at that. And then if they say yes, this is where you can utilize the ATM method that Jill mentioned, which is adding them into our Facebook VIP group and tagging them into the video post. And then you'd message them and say, I'm not the expert, so I just added you to a Facebook group and tagged you in that video. I couldn't believe that I hadn't heard of this sooner. You can scroll through the group and check out the results. When can you watch the video? And I'll get back to you after that. So you're automatically sharing the information without you having to say anything, okay? You don't need to know anything about the product, the business, the science, okay? All you're doing is being the connector. You're connecting your contact with the tools and information. And our VIP Facebook group is super, super powerful for that. And you're also setting a commitment to follow up with them. So you're saying, I'll get back in touch with you. Because the worst thing you can do is send them something and not know when you're going to follow up with them. Because should you follow up with them straight after or leave it a day, or is that too desperate? And then if you leave it a day, is it awkward if you're following back up with them? You get what I'm trying to say, right? So always set the commitment of when you will follow up with them. Treat this like a business. Have appointments and schedules and follow-ups committed. Even have them in a diary or on a phone as a reminder and an alert, okay? As soon as you have that commitment and follow-up set in place, there is no awkwardness. It makes it so simple for you because then you can get back in touch with them because you know that they're going to watch it. It's so much easier to do it that way. It's really, really important to show and not tell, okay? You want to tell your story, but you don't want to tell them every single fact and science and everything you think you should. You don't need to. All you need to do is show them the tools and resources. So this is where you are getting the information in front of your contact. And we have proven, simple, profitable methods. And these methods, you can use all of them, a combination, or you might just love the idea of one of them, and that is something that resonates and you feel inspired to do. Or it could be a strength of yours, you know, talking with people in person. Or for me, it was utilizing social media and Facebook. I was a stay-at-home mum with a little daughter. I have a lot of like office computer experience and I'm very efficient, so that worked for me. But for some people, it's being in front of people, being out at meetings and doing that sort of thing. So here are some ideas of how you can show the information to your contacts. Share our website link. There's such a great level of information. It takes them step by step and it's very a personalized experience. So you can just send them the link. If you haven't seen our website, go and take the time to look through it. You'll learn a lot. Have a launch event. So this is what Jill mentioned about getting people into a home meeting, or you can even do it online with a Zoom like this. And it's so fun when you do your very first launch event, because you don't need to know anything and you can even use that ignorance. You can say, I don't know what I'm doing, but I've got somebody who is an expert and they're going to be telling us all about this. I'm excited to learn more and I'm excited to launch my business with some of my closest friends. You're one of them. Would you be willing to jump on and listen in as well? You could do a coffee, a one-on-one, have a lunch. You could make it however you want to. You could do an at-home party if you wanted to. Make it fun, make it yours. The biggest thing is that doing a launch event within your first week of this business is so, so powerful, because it's using your passion, your excitement. You've just got your business pack, sometimes even before your pack has arrived, and you can really hit the ground running. Typically at an event, we've got really high success rates with people converting to becoming customers and sometimes even distributors from a launch event, because you've got an expert presenter, your upline support, who's got a lot of experience presenting and sharing the information and telling their stories. All you need to do is tell a little bit about your story and let your support team share the rest. How easy is that? Okay, the Facebook ATM method, which I mentioned. So that's where you add your contacts into the VIP or business group. Then you tag them. So that's when you comment and tag their name so that they get a notification on the post that you want them to see. And I encourage you, if it's somebody who's seeing it for the very first time, that you utilize the announcement pinned post at the top of the VIP or business group, because that's a really great intro and it really breaks down about what the product or business is about. It's a great introduction and it explains what they need to do next. And then you want to message and follow up with them to confirm that they've seen the information and that they're going to take a look. Okay, that's setting that commitment. So if you are doing like one or two or even all of these things consistently, you will definitely explode your business. So there's those Facebook groups again that Jill mentioned. Other events, so we've got those corporate health series webinars all throughout February. We have team webinars. There's local events if you go to that LifeVantage Australia events page, and meetings, and getting validation from the presenters at these sorts of events is super, super powerful. Okay, they're always top level leaders who've got some really, really good inspiration and stories to share. The other thing as well I want to mention is third-party validation, where if you've got somebody who's got questions or wants to know more than what you've just showed them, connect them to your support team, whether it's on a three-way chat, on a phone call, in person, or on a Zoom. Utilize your support. The biggest mistake I made probably in my first year of doing this business was thinking that I didn't need help, was thinking that I could do it all on my own. And do you know what? Every person that I shared this with, they would come back to me and say, do you know what? You're really good at sharing all this, but I don't know if I could do this. Because it made it look like you had to be the one who knew it all. And that's not the case. Okay, if you've got somebody else who's sharing and all you had to do was invite or give them a link, how much easier does that make it for anybody who's looking at this business or maybe even long term, okay, we really want to keep this simple, and we really want you to make sure that you're utilizing your support team to help you grow your business. Then the last thing is following up and closing. Okay, it might seem a little bit, whoop, that jumped ahead. While it might seem overwhelming, this is a natural end to the process. And often a lot of people are just waiting for you to ask them. Okay, a lot of people need a little bit of hand holding, and that's totally fine. But this is where you need to have a little bit of confidence and posture and passion about what we have. We've got a gift, okay? If you haven't seen some stories, go and browse through the VIP group, because what we have is transformational for people's health on all levels. I'm in this business because the product works. Okay, this business is amazing, but I stay for the product because it's changed my eyesight. I don't have migraines anymore, my energy, my sleep. I feel better now as a 30-year-old than I did when I was 18. It just is so life-changing. And if I've taken the time to get information to somebody, I want to know as soon as possible if they want to get started and have that impact in their life as well. Okay, and so that's where having some posture and confidence, and when you start taking action, that will build as well. Okay, you might not feel that right now, but once you start talking to more people or hearing more stories, that's going to start coming more naturally to you. But here are some really great simple sentences that you can use to follow up and help lead your contact to making a decision. So you could say, "Hey John, wasn't that video amazing?" and wait for them to respond. Or, "What did you like best about what you just saw?" And again, wait for them to respond. So anytime you ask a follow-up question, you wait and let them respond and see what their response is, or listen to what their response is. And then you can support them with the solution that's best for them. Here's some other ideas. "Hey, so what are you liking most about the VIP group?" And this is a great one if you have forgotten to get back in touch with them and you don't want to be awkward. Use this. Or you can say, "The next step of the process is to get your product ordered. When would you like to get started?" So this is a really good one if they've asked questions and they're kind of like, "Well, I don't really have any other questions." Maybe they just need to be asked, when do they want to get started? Or, "Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 you're ready to start right now, or 1 you're not interested at all?" And let them know where you're at. Most people will answer like a 5 or a 6, which is awesome, because it usually just means they'll need a little bit more information or maybe some validation from your support team. Or you can be really bold and say, "You're going to love this. Trust me, I'm your best friend. Order and you'll thank me in 30 days. So that's some awesome closing questions that you can use. What's really, really critical in any industry where the result is somebody ordering or buying something is that it's human nature that we don't decide first go. Okay, it's kind of like a random stranger coming up to you and proposing to you there, and you don't even know who they are. Of course, you're going to be like, "Oh, hell no." So remember that more people require 5 or more follow-up questions, okay, before they will commit to buying. Sometimes that could be a couple of day process. Sometimes that can be a couple of years. And that's why I love the VIP group, is because as soon as you've got your contact in that group, it will be dripping information and stories and value and biohacking information and science to your prospect on a regular basis without you having to even follow up with them. So that's why the VIP group's really effective. But most people, almost 50% of people, give up after following up just one time. So don't let that be you. If you're going to the effort to connect and share and do launch meetings, make sure that you take the time to track, write it down in a notebook, or we actually have printable tracking sheets where you can keep track of who you've talked to and how many times you've followed up with them. And whether it's every 30 days or, you can even ask them, "Okay, I know it's not the right time for you. If I follow up with you in a couple of months, would that be okay?" Just ask them that, and nobody says no. Nobody says, no, don't follow up with me. Everyone will say, yeah, sure. And then once you've got an update, then you can say, hey, I just got Pacesetter Pro 2 and I just got an extra $125 in my business. Do you want to take a look now? How awesome is that? So that's really the, I don't want to go to that yet. That is the step 2 with getting to Pacesetter Pro 2. So I'm going to now introduce Katrina Allen. We're coming up to our final step 3. Thank you, everyone. This is a really long, in-depth training, but we're going to close it out with doing our Pacesetter and Pro 3 training with Katrina Allen. I'll get you to share your screen, Trine.
Yeah, can do.
I haven't even seen the chat, so I don't know what people are saying.
Okay, I want to start by saying how awesome Karen and Jill are, because they are just so good at educating. And I know that I speak on behalf of everyone and say how much we appreciate all your skills and talents that you bring to the team. So thank you guys so much. So my name is Katrina Allen. I am from the Sunshine Coast and I'm a Pro 6 with LifeVantage. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about my background. I'm so excited to say that I have been with the company coming up 5 years now. So, and what a ride it has been. It has been absolutely amazing. And I don't say it lightly when I say it's been life-changing for not only myself, but my family, and which has caused a massive ripple effect as well. So I actually shudder to think where we would be as a family and individually if this didn't come into our lives. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it did. And I'm hoping that you guys can relate, because there's so many different aspects of our story that I'm hoping that you guys can relate to. So reverse to 5 years ago. We had 2 young kids, beautiful Hayley and Mason, you can see there. My husband was working away in the mines. Now, this is not ideal. I know that a lot of people in the same situation, it's not ideal, but you do what you have to do to get through. And we were doing okay. We were comfortable. We were not rolling in it, as you could say, but we were certainly getting by until an unforeseen accident happened to my husband. It could have been a lot worse, but he ended up breaking his arm. Long story short, he broke his arm while he was at work, and his employers were not good about it. They really made it difficult for him and forced him out of his job. So to shorten that story, it was just, let's just say it was a really, really stressful time in our lives. I can honestly say it was the worst year of our lives. We weren't prepared for that. We weren't ready for that. You know, a broken arm and no job with a young family, and I wasn't working at the time. So we really didn't see it coming, and it put a lot of stress and strain on our family. But then just to make things a little bit more difficult, it was kind of going from bad to worse. He then got diagnosed with a thyroid condition. And that was our introduction to what emotional stress can do on our physical bodies. Like, we know, we're learning about that now, right? But back then I had no idea that was huge proof. This was the doctor that said this to us, that emotional and financial stress manifested into this disease. So it was kind of just getting worse and worse and worse, and we were just like, oh my gosh, I can say we hit rock bottom. That was our rock bottom. But a beautiful friend, Kerry Christie, I'm sure most of you guys know who that is. She came to me and she shared from her heart her mum's story. If you have not heard that story, then you need to hear it. It's an absolutely amazing story. And like Jill went into how you tell your story, it was heartfelt. She was real. She was raw. And she said, listen, I think you should look into this for Daniel. It could help. So she just directed me to the information. So she shared her story and directed me to the information. When I started looking into this, oh my gosh, I got that feeling, you know, that this is something huge feeling in my belly. And for me, my brain was going crazy, psychotically crazy. I could not sleep for a week because I knew, and I'm sure that you guys are the same, so many people around us everywhere, you know, relatives, friends, they're suffering. Like, so many people are suffering from their health, you know, whether that's depression. How many people have depression or a physical ailment or something? So my brain went crazy. I had relatives and everything, and I wanted to share this with. And so I got really passionate. And Karen, like, totally sums it up so well when she says ignorance on fire, because that was me. I was so ignorance on fire, but I had something that I really truly believed in, probably for the first time in my life. And I knew that this was a precious gift and this could really help people. So I took myself out of the equation, and I literally just went and spoke to everybody, and not in a spare me way, in a I'm so flippin' excited and I believe in this and I want this for you sort of a way, that half the time, like, I moved really quickly and I grew my business really quickly on just that behavior, because I had someone say, I don't know what the flippin' heck you're talking about, but I want what you're on because of that sheer excitement and energy. And it does not matter. You can't say the wrong thing when you have that energy and that conviction and that passion. So I know that a lot of people get caught up in that. What if I say the wrong thing? It's not so much about your words. It's about your passion and your belief. Okay, so like, that is a massive, if you don't get anything out of this, anything else out, please take that away. Okay, and if you're not there yet, then like Karen said, go to the VIP page and read some of those stories, or call one of us so that we can help you get to that point, because that is absolute gold. So I went around and I was sharing with everybody and anybody, and I'd taken myself out of the equation, but yeah, it was so exciting. For the first time in my life, I felt that fulfillment, because in the past, I've done hairdressing. I'm a hairdresser by trade. I've delved into photography and I've done quite a few things, but it never really, I was still searching for more. I knew that wasn't it. I knew that I could give more. And so when this came along, I was like, this is it. This is it. And I had a vision. Okay, so that's the other thing. I had a really strong vision, and a lot of people get stuck on this aspect. They really struggle to see their lives differently to what they are now. And without a vision, we're like a sailboat going around and around in circles. Okay, we have to know where we're going. So where a good place to start is, what's going on in your life right now that you don't want? What don't you want to keep being a reoccurring thing? Okay, so for me, let's go back to my story. I didn't ever want to feel vulnerable and in that financial predicament ever again. It was crap. When you have kids to support, that is not a good feeling. So number one was the finances. So let's look at LifeVantage as an opportunity. Does it tick that? Oh my gosh. It's got unlimited potential in what you can make if you put your mind to this. Unlimited. So it ticks that, okay? Don't want that financial. So my vision for our family is complete financial freedom. And I'm going to keep saying that word because I think that's what everyone's searching for, is freedom. And then let's look at time freedom. You know, so there's a lot of people out there that they're making really good money, but they don't have any time. I didn't want my husband working away anymore. I wanted him home with us where he should be. You know, when that happened to us, I had to go and get a cleaning job to make ends meet at nighttime. And so I was working in a job that was unsafe. I hated it. I was scared half the time, walking around this pitch black school. I was unsafe. I was being dictated by, you know, somebody else where I had to be when I had to be. And that's not freedom, if you ask me. So I knew that I didn't want that anymore. Okay, so financial freedom and time freedom, and the freedom over what you do with your time. Okay, so if you have complete freedom over what you do, you can prioritize things that are important to you. Family, okay, like Jill said and Karen touched on, I think if anyone's a parent, like, they have that desire to be a big part in their family's lives. And for me, I had that same desire. I wanted to drop my kids off and pick them up. I wanted to be at swimming carnivals and sports carnivals, okay? And this is a luxury that a lot of people don't have, but I had that desire. Okay, so what does LifeVantage do? It ticks that big fat box because it gives you time freedom. Now, health, how important is health when you look at our story with Daniel? Okay, without your health, what do you have? So like Karen said, you know, when you're young, you think you're invincible and you think you're always going to have that health, but we need to really be focusing on, you know, prevention and being proactive, like Jill says, you know, being proactive with our health. So health needs to be a priority in all of our lives. Tick for that one. I don't think you could get better products to help with that. So that's a massive big tick for LifeVantage. And then it comes down to that purpose and that passion, okay, that I said that I felt for the first time ever. Now, I want you guys to know that when I started this, there was zero confidence. Yes, I went out and ignorance on fire, but that was because it wasn't about me. It was about, I was so excited with the hype of everything that I was learning in that, and that belief that I could really help change people, that's what got me into that action. But as soon as I had time to think, oh my gosh, can I really do that? And I let my brain tick in, like, I did not have confidence, but I had a desire, and I had a desire to be the best mum that I could be. I had a desire to help others find that freedom and, you know, the health and the financial and time, that because I know that everyone else is looking for that too. It's not just our family. So I had a desire to lead people to that because we have this opportunity. So I had all this desire to better myself. And I knew that I didn't have the confidence to do that on my own, but guess what? My absolute godsend is Kerry Christie, because if it was just me, I promise you, 5 years later, I wouldn't be here. I would have convinced myself that I couldn't do it by now. But it took one person to whisper in my ear, you've got this, you can do this. And it took one person to believe in me, just one person, to just keep going, you can do this, you've got this, you know, reminding me of my why and doing this together, that got us 5 years later to where we are. So my point in telling you that is, please don't try to do this on your own, okay? Plug in to the team. I challenge you to go and find a better, more supportive team, because there is none. Like, what we have, our culture is so special. And I'm so proud of it. I'm so, so proud of it. There's not one person, like, it's who we attract. We attract the most amazing, supportive people with so many different talents and so many different things that they bring to the table, that you will find someone that you mesh with, someone that your personalities just, they get each other, and you just can run with this. So, you know, if it's not your direct upline, then know that you've got like hundreds of other people in Team Positive that can be those people for you in that support team. So I know it's a bit of a long-winded story, but I really, really wanted to touch on those important aspects of what it takes to keep going. So you really need that vision, and you really need to plug into that support, okay? So I'm being mindful of time, but I'm going to go into the Pro 3 and what does it mean to make Pro 3 tonight. Okay, so Karen's done awesome in setting the foundation with legs and the different divisions that you have to have. So Pro 3, an average earnings is about $580 a month. Now that's getting significant. That can be, you know, house payments, and that can be never paying for a mobile bill ever again. So this is, when you're thinking about residual income, this is getting significant at Pro 3. So you need a 5,000 in overall volume to make Pro 3, okay? And the leg split is still 2. It's 80%. The maximum you can take is 80% from one leg, which is 4,000 in volume. Now, this can look in so many different scenarios, and if you get lost on this, this is something that you can talk to any of us, and we can really look at your business specifically and help you like work it out. But a good thing to know is maximum of 4,000 in volume can come out of one leg or one of your distributors. And the rest can look in so many different scenarios, or it might be 2,000 in your strong leg and so many different other scenarios, okay? So that's Pro 3. Now, talking of Pacesetter. So Karen went through Pacesetter Pro 2. Now there's also Pacesetter Pro 3. So Pacesetter Pro 3 is you have achieved your rank in 90 days from joining. Okay, so you have achieved Pro 3, and if you join on or after the second of the month, you have this month and another 3 months to make Pro 3. So that's significant. So essentially, if you're early on in the month, then you essentially get nearly 4 months to make this Pacesetter Pro 3. And you earn a $312.50 bonus in Australian dollars. That's significant. And if you maintain that the next month, then you are making that bonus again. That's over $600 worth of extra money on top of what you would normally get. Plus you get to Pro 3, which is a foundational rank in this company. All right, so we as a team have lots of systems. Now, Jill and Karen have touched on the first couple in this training tonight. And like Jill said, you can go to biohackingglobal.com and find these launch guides. Okay, so first of all, if you're below Pro 3, then you really need to be just focusing mainly on the launch guide and inviting and enrolling. So if you're below Pro 3, it's invite, enroll, invite, enroll. Now, staying in launch mode is really important. So many new leaders will get stuck at Pro 1 or 2 because they sign up a couple of distributors and they sit on them. They try to hatch them like a golden egg. Your fastest way to Pro 3 is to continue recruiting. So many people get the same lesson that they learn, is that they end up going into management mode, and you have a team and you want to help them. And so you're putting a lot of time into helping your team, but then you stop doing those fundamental things, which is inviting and enrolling. Okay, that will slow down your business. So it's really, really important to keep inviting and enrolling the whole way through, still as Pro 5s and Pro 6s and Pro 7s, and even our upline Maria Williams is still inviting and enrolling. Okay, that is how you get a good foundational business that is consistently growing. Okay, so want to be a top enroller. What do top enrollers do? All right, so they believe they have a gift to give and are unattached to the results. All right, this is so huge. Like I said, I knew that I had a gift to give, but guess what? Something that I didn't touch on in my story that I feel is really, really important is Kerry. I don't know if most people know this, but she actually tried to share LifeVantage with me on 1 or 2 other occasions before that one time when I was at rock bottom that I listened. So she'd shared it with me 1 or 2 times, and I was oblivious to what she was even talking about. Like, I was just not even there and not even in the space of receiving what she was saying because it wasn't my time. Okay, but if she was attached to those results, then maybe potentially she wouldn't have shared again when it was my time. So that's a really important lesson. Okay, so just because it's not someone's time when you're talking to them, it does not mean I don't care who you talk to in this business. If they've been in for a couple of years, they will tell you that people that have said no to them in the past have come back around for sure. It's all about timing. So don't be attached, just share this gift. So know what our gifts are. Gosh, we have so many. I just went through so many. Hey, like we have our products are phenomenal. They're unique, they're category creating, they're life-changing products. The business, it offers everything. It offers a solution to every single problem out there. And, we offer mentor and coaching and leadership and inspiration for people to make the changes that they desire to make in their life. This is huge. These are massive gifts, like all together. So don't take anything personally. If someone gives you a really harsh response to what you're saying, I promise you it is not about you. It is about them every single time. And you don't know what the reason is. Someone, they might have tried network marketing in the past and it was an epic fail for them for various reasons. And they might be a little bit bitter about that. There could be so many different reasons. So don't take it personally, please. Know they have very little control over results. So we can control our actions and what we do, but it's not our job to control the results. Okay, we can learn, we can earn and learn, and we can pick up different things and do things different ways if we didn't feel like it works so well that way, but it's not our job to control the results. It's just our job to take the required inspired action. So top enrollers talk to lots of people. Okay, they don't have 3 people that they're like, right, I've got my list, 3 people. They talk to lots. They go through the numbers. They go out every single day and they make friends. Like, they are literally planting seeds everywhere they go with so many people. Top enrollers consistently build and maintain a pipeline. They always have 10 people in their pipeline, okay? So you should have at least 10 people that you're consistently following up with, or sending different information, or that you've planted seeds with, or that you've invited. At least 10 that you have in the pipeline. So top enrollers make new friends everywhere they go. They have a friends first policy or philosophy. Please take this one seriously, because if anyone has ever said that they've lost friends in this business, then I believe personally, then you've done it wrong, because there should not be any reason that you're losing friends. Okay, we don't hound people. We are sharing information. We're not trying to sell products. We're sharing information, and we're unattached to that, and we're offering solutions. So if you have, well, for me, for example, if I've shared and I've done a presentation and shared with people, and they've told me that they're not interested, of course you can ask permission to follow up, but I don't keep talking to them about it every time I see them. Like, these are my friends. I care about them. I care about our relationship. So I don't mention it. If I sense any icky awkwardness, then the conversation is completely dropped about what I'm doing, because people know, if you've already shared with them, people know what you're doing. Okay, it's not like they just forget, and so you have to keep reminding them every time you see them. Like, they will come back to you when the time is right. Okay, so friends first philosophy always. So top enrollers, they rarely prejudge, but they pre-qualify. This is another huge one, guys. Okay, so don't prejudge. Exactly like Karen and Jill's stories were perfect for this, okay? They could have been prejudged and they wouldn't be here, and that would be horrible. So don't prejudge. You just don't know what's going on in people's lives, but definitely pre-qualify. If you wouldn't like and enjoy working with someone, then don't give them business information. Okay, what we have, I touched on this before, what we have with Team Positive is really special. And we do attract really kind-hearted, special people that are about giving this gift to the world and bettering themselves. But if you have someone who doesn't have that same vision and that same integrity, then maybe they're not the right fit. And it doesn't matter how much money you think that they're going to make you. If they're not the right fit, I promise they'll be more of a headache than what you think it's worth. So definitely pre-qualify is a really important one. Never take people off the list. They stay on the list forever. So even if I've had customers come on board and then decide that they don't want to take it anymore, or they want to go off the product, they're still definitely on my list, because again, timing and different things happen. And I've had customers come on board, then they've fallen off, and then they've come on board again. So following up and sending information when it's necessary, or when something exciting comes up is really, really powerful. So never, ever take people off the list. Okay, so I just really quickly, I know this is going for a long time, so I'm going to try to go through this quickly, but there's a difference between being busy and income generating activities. And another way to say is income producing activities, or IGAs. We can all be busy scrolling Facebook, let's face it. We need to catch up with what's going on, but that's not really income producing activities, okay? So in network marketing, you have very little control over the result, but 100% control over your action and attitude. So what is an income generating activity? So sharing the ABC Primetime, or sharing a video tool, that's an income producing activity. Sharing our awesome website, biohackingglobal.com, adding people to the VIP page, adding people to the business page, they are income producing. Always remember, I'm just going to touch on this again because it's so important, is inviting people and getting their permission before you add them. So important. Okay, you don't want to be just adding people. I despise getting added to groups if I'm not invited. It's just an etiquette thing. All right, inviting people to a presentation, whether that's live or recorded, that is really, if the quicker you can do that so that they can get all of the information, that's a really good one. 3-way calls with one of your support team, enrolling a new customer or distributor and going through that process, that's also income producing, and following up. Okay, so these are the things that are actually going to build your business when you go out and take these actions. Now, personal development is very important as well, but it's not income producing. Okay, so do these things, have your goals of what you want to be doing per day. February is two a day or 60 in the month, so that's what needs to be done foundationally and as a priority. And then your personal development and everything can go in there when you can fit that in as well, but it also very important. So awesome benefits of hitting Pro 3. So some things get unlocked at Pro 3. So this is exciting, and this is another awesome reason that it's a really important goal to reach sooner rather than later. Okay, so there's something called the launch bonus. So this is a weekly payment. LifeVantage wants to reward you for more than just your personally enrolled customers and distributors. So they have created the launch bonus. The launch bonus gets unlocked at Pro 3, and it's a triple up bonus effect. Okay, so when you have someone sign on a platinum, you can see here. So obviously, so you enroll in a platinum pack, you get paid your weekly commissions, and then it looks for the first Pro 3 up the line who will also earn $50. Okay, so if you're the Pro 3, then you get paid on what your distributor has done when they've joined a platinum pack. Okay, you can see the gold pack, the first Pro 3, and if there's no Pro 3 there, it skips to the first Pro 4. Okay, so on a gold pack they would earn 25, and you can see it as it goes up the line. Feel free to screenshot this, or we have full length documents on all of this, but it's can really add up, and it's an awesome weekly bonus on top of what you would get for your personally enrolled packs that you enroll. Okay, so the second one, now this one's huge. This one, I love this. This is one of my favorite parts of the compensation plan, is generational matching bonus. So get ready to be richly rewarded. The more you enroll new team members and help them succeed, the more income potential you have coming your way. All right, so you earn a 10% match on all personally enrolled distributors' royalty commissions generated from their downline sales. All right, so this is like their monthly income. You're earning 10% match on your personally enrolled, and then you earn 5% on anyone enrolled underneath them, and you can see that goes 5 levels deep. So that is massive. So, but the qualifying, so to qualify for the generational matching bonus, you must have 100 in new purchase volume from preferred customers, distributors, or retail customers during a calendar month, and 200 PV. 40 of that PV must be from your personal product. Okay, so 100 new volume for that month of, it can be customers or distributors, will qualify you for this generational matching bonus. And as you go up the ranks, that gets bigger and bigger and more significant. So, but this is unlocked at Pro 3. So that's a really exciting one to add to your income. All right, so I'm just going to finish it up by saying, if you're stuck, guys, you're not alone. Please communicate. First of all, you reach out to your enroller for support, and you can brainstorm so many different ideas. But here's a couple of ideas. You're thinking, I don't know who else to talk to. You can definitely go back to everybody and ask for referrals. Referrals are huge. All right. So, and sometimes people find it as an easier approach to go indirectly for the referral side of things. Okay, so they can say, you might not be interested, but you might know, who do you know who is suffering with their health right now, or who? So this is a big Tara Wilson tool. Who do you know who do you know who that is looking for some extra income? Who do you know who is open to opportunity? You can use so many different, so every single person that you've spoken to, you can go back and use that who do you know who to get referrals. Think about that. If you've spoken to 100 people and then you go back to that same 100 people and ask for referrals, can you imagine how many people that you can get from that, and so many new leads? So talk to all of your Facebook friends. Again, one thing that I took away from Tara Wilson was the fact that how often have we had our list and we jump through them? Like I do it all the time. Like I'll jump over people, and you know, she says, why do you do that? Because are they a person? Are they a human? Do they need this product? You know, like it's almost like a selfish thing to do. And what's the worst they can say? The worst they can say is no. And we won't die from that. Okay. So that go through everybody, but please be mindful. Like you don't need to go and spam them. Okay. You don't need to be like, hey, check out this link. Like this is a relationships business. All right. Get a conversation happening, you know, get a natural conversation and be genuinely interested in them and what's going in their life. And I know every single time I do this, naturally a way of sharing this comes up. It's just so natural. It's such a natural process if you ask open-ended questions and just be curious and interested in them. And then and in for a solution, or what the gift that we have to share comes up. Another awesome tool is meetup.com. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before, but I'm certainly on it, and you can put all your interests in. You can put health or entrepreneurs or whatever. You can put all your different interests in on this website, and it tells you all the different meetup groups in your area. This is gold. What an opportunity, and what a great way of going and meeting new people and getting yourself out there. And you already know they're like-minded because they're attending the group about health or about, you know, being an entrepreneur. So that's a really great tool. Yeah, and I'm just going to finish by saying, please, please, please communicate, stay plugged in, and do not be afraid to call anyone that you click with, your enroller, definitely. We are all here to help, and we do have an invested interest in seeing your success, and it's not for financial gain, I promise. It's just that we know how life-changing this can be, and we want everyone to succeed. If you've said yes and you have the desire, then all of us want to see you succeed. So I'm going to wrap it up there, Karen. I can stop sharing my screen.
Great, thank you. Yes, we definitely do want each and every one of our team and distributors to succeed on this journey. So let me wrap it up tonight by sharing our February call to action, something that you can all focus on to help you achieve that growth in your business, to gain momentum, to launch you, to get you off the ground, to help you hit those ranks, or even to achieve those pace setter promotions and bonuses. And so for the month of February, we are focusing on our 60 and 30 challenge. And what's really exciting is that there are so many, not only in our team, but Australia-wide, who are doing this challenge. And if you just think of each and every person who is sharing with 60 people in the month, how many people are hearing about our breakthrough products and our solution-based business? It's really a big movement that's going to happen. So the goal is for us to share with 2 people a day. And if it can be 2 new people a day, that is the greatest way to hit that goal. So how you could do it, well, we've shared all of those inviting and showing skills with you, but here's another reminder. You could add 60 people to the VIP group, get 60 guests on the webinars that are happening in February, share your story with 60 people, send our website link to 60 people if they've asked and said yes, or have a launch event and get 60 people in front of the information, or use a combination of these, but have fun with it and you're going to be rewarded because we've got some awesome prizes that Kerry and the team have put together just for Team Positive. So the first one is the person who has the most enrollments in the team. So that's both distributor and customer. Whoever has the most personal enrollments will get LifeVantage, a bag, a hair detangler, and a $20 voucher for your favorite bookstore. I'm also going to throw in a sample set of the True Science hair care to go with your hair detangler because I love the hair care and I've got some samples. Then the next prize is the person who has the most people added to the VIP group plus guests who are on the webinars that we have in February. So it's impossible to track this. This is where you need to be honest, but keep yourself accountable and let your support team or whoever is the closest in your leadership team, let them know when you add somebody to the VIP group and when you have a guest on a webinar, and we'll keep track of that. So you'll earn a $50 voucher to the movies, as well as a LifeVantage t-shirt, the hair detangler, and I'll also throw in the True Science hair care sample in that as well. And we've got a third prize where if you have never had 200 PV, or if you haven't had 200 PV in the past 3 months and you reach 200 PV in new volume for the month of February, you'll go into the draw to win this prize of a LifeVantage bag, t-shirt, hand cream, hair detangler, and of course some hair care samples as well. So I know everyone will be going into the draw for this. Everyone should have 200 PV in new volume, absolutely. So those are our incentive prizes. Please, if you haven't committed, we've still got time. It doesn't have to be 2 a day. You could do 10 a day if you really wanted to and do those top enroller actions, but let your support team know so that they can support you, keep you accountable, and check in with you and encourage you throughout that month process. I just want to say thank you so much to every single one of you who have taken the time to listen in tonight. I'm so grateful, and thank you to Jill for your amazing knowledge and Katrina for all of your beautiful inspiration and helping share about the Pacesetter program. I'm going to end it there. I'll have the recording available tomorrow. I hope that you've got some big takeaways and you're ready to launch and have an amazing rest of the month. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.